ó ṣe gàyà díẹ̀ ná ìlú ló láṣẹ ẹjẹ́ ìlú ó jẹun náà ìdí nìyí tó fi jẹ́ pé ẹ̀tọ́ ìlú là ń fowó ìlú ṣe nípìnlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ẹ̀rí bí ní ètò ẹ̀kọ́ wa ṣe ń jògèrè LAUTECH ti di tìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé bíi 40 ló ti wẹ̀wọ̀ ọ̀tún pẹ̀lú àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ tòun tòògùn àti irinṣẹ́ tó kojú owó iṣẹ́ sì ti fẹ́ẹ̀ parí pẹ̀lú lórí 100 míì jákèjádò ìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ààbò tó dájú òun ohun amáyédẹrùn ní ìṣokùnfà ìdásílẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá láwùjọ òun náà nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ fi wà nípò kẹta nínú àwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ń pawó wọlé jùlọ lábẹ́lé nílẹ̀ wa ọ̀pọ̀ ọ̀dọ́ ló ti láǹfààní ẹ̀kọ́ṣẹ́ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ lọ́nà ti gbàlódé táṣeyọrí yìí ó sì jẹ́ kó ń jẹ́ sùn wá bọ̀ láìpẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì ń gbowó wọn lásìkò pápá àṣírí adámàsìngbà àtàwọn inú ojú pópó tí ń sòrú dọ̀sán kọ́ àwọn ìlú ti sọ pásì ìwádùn níṣèjọba yìí fi ń mọ rírì gbogbo àwọn aláṣẹ gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ló ń sọ fún wa pé pẹ̀lú ìṣọ̀kan wa oòrùn tó kù lókè yìí ó táṣọ ọgbẹ.
iléeṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
lóòótọ́ àlùkà wà ní ẹrù.
Let us take you on a journey across continents as we bring you latest news, captivating stories, and diverse perspectives from around the globe. From breaking news headlines to fascinating features, discover the stories that shapes our society and the voices that demand to be heard. It's Newspaper Review on Alori Radio.
You are welcome to Newspaper Review on Alori Radio. We are transmitting from GSM Studio at the Ministry of Information and Orientation, Secretariat Agodi, Ibadan. My name is Olukemi Omotosho. You can like and share on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Alori Radio. On YouTube, it is at Alori Radio. I have with me two Nigerian dailies, The Nation newspaper and The Punch. The first story I'm going to take is from the front page of the Nation newspaper, and it says, mixed fortunes for APC, PDP, Labour at tribunals. Accounting icon Akintola Williams dies at 104. The two stories can be found on the front page of the Nation newspaper. Also, I have palliatives. Borno, Sokoto give out 140 vehicles. Others, that is coming from page 3 of the Nation newspaper. And Zenith Bank makes 967 billion naira half-year gross earnings. That is coming from page 7. And still on the Nation newspaper, I have federal universities to get full financial autonomy. That is coming from page 5, with the rider that says education to take budgets 25%. And coming from page 5 of the Nation, Edo relocates Shuaibu's office outside government house. And coming from page 6, rows between Ogun government, Daniel over Plaza deepens. That story can be found on page 6. And I have this one, I have a pictorial of the president, Bola Tinubu, and that of the United Arab Emirates, Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. And they are talking about UA lifts visa restrictions on Nigeria travelers. The story can be found on the front page of the Nation newspaper. And I have the sad story, 11 feared killed in Plateau. That is coming from page 27. And still on the Nation newspaper, devastating storm kills 150 in Libya. I'll quickly go to the front page of the Punch newspaper. Tinubu special investigator faults CBN audited reports. The rider says Central Bank allegedly pays over 400 million to IFRS Academy for accounting guidelines. DSS to summon FRC boss. Top directors as CBN special investors deepens probe. That story can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And I have this one that says Obasanjo, governors mourn as doyen of accounting. Williams dies at 104. Of course, we can see pictures of people signing for the condolence register of Pa Williams. And I have corruptions, biggest hindrance to Nigerians' democratic development. global report. That report can be found on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. And court remands jealous lover over killing girlfriend. The sad story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And on page 6 I have 2.9 billion fraud. Jonathan's godson, 2 others jailed 6 years. And operators excited as UAE lifts visa ban on Nigerians. That story can be found on page 18 of the Punch newspaper. And I have Morocco earthquake death toll rises to 2,700. That is coming from page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Pengassan reacts as Dangote refinery misses production deadline. That important story can be found on page 17 of the Punch newspaper. With that, we'll go on a short break to be back for more details. Please stay tuned.
Olódùmarè ni ló fi jẹ́ pé àlùkà wà ní téèyàn bá ṣe lórí òdodo. Olódùmarè tó lẹ́rù náà ní bá ní gbé. Àgbẹ́kẹ̀lé ìṣèjọba omi tuntun tí ń bẹ nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ èyí tí gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé ń darí nìyí ló fi jẹ́ ọgbà tí ìṣèjọba yìí ti gorí àlééfà ló ti gbé ìlànà ìṣèjọba olókùn mẹ́rin kalẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ ọ̀fẹ́ ìwòsàn ọ̀fẹ́ ìgbélárugẹ ọrọ̀ ajé ohun ààbò tó gbópọn. Lára àṣeyọrí ìlànà yìí ní gbígba iléèwé gíga yunifásitì LAUTECH fúnpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́, owó ìrànwọ́ fáwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mọ̀ọ́fin, àwọn akẹ́kọ̀ọ́ gbàwé ọ̀fẹ́ ó sì tún gbolùkọ́ síṣẹ́, ìwòsàn ọ̀fẹ́ ní tìbútòrò ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ nípa kíkọ́ ilé ìwòsàn alábọ́dé sí wọ́ọ̀dù tó dín ní 300 níye, àtúnṣe àwọn ilé ìwòsàn tó ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀, òun ilé ìwòsàn alágbèéká, kọ́rọ̀ ajé ìpínlẹ̀ wa lè rú gọ́gọ́ sí, a ṣàtúnṣe àwọn ọ̀nà tó ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀, a sì tún la tuntun, Ìṣẹ́yìn sọ́yọ́, Ìṣẹ́yìn sógbómọ̀ṣọ́, Ìṣẹ́yìn sókèèwò, Ṣakí sọ́gbọ̀rọ̀ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ìgbélárugẹ iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ òun ní ojú pópó tó mọ́lẹ̀ rókoṣo, ẹ̀tọ́ àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ àtòṣìṣẹ́ fẹ̀yìntì òsì tẹ̀tì, ààbò sì dúró ore nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Báwọn ọdẹ onípàkúté ò tiẹ̀ sinmi pàkúté wọn ń dìdẹ. Olódùmarè tó lẹ́rù ń bá ìṣàkóso ìgbẹ́rù rẹ̀. Gómìnà Ṣèyí Mákindé wá ń dúpẹ́ fún àtìlẹ́yìn gbogbo wa nípìnlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́. Lágbára Olódùmarè, ibi ire lòkè yìí ń gbé wa rè, ibi ire.
Ilé-iṣẹ́ ètò ìròyìn àṣà ohun ìrìn àjò afẹ́ tìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ ló ń kéde.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Review on Alore Radio. The first story I'm going to take in details is from the front page of the Punch newspaper. It says, Tinubu special investor faults CBN audited reports. The Central Bank of Nigeria may be asked to withdraw its audited annual financial reports, which were released last month, according to the findings of the Punch. This came after a team investigating the Apex Bank discovered discrepancies and irregularities in the financial accounts. In August, the CBN released its financial accounts for the years 2016 to 2022 amid ongoing probe of the financial services sector regulator by a special investigator appointed by President Bola Tinubu. Tinubu had on July 28 appointed a former chief executive officer of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, Jim Obaze, as special investigator to probe the activities of the Apex Bank under its suspended governor, Godwin Emefiele. Aside from the CBN, the special investigator, is also investigating the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, FRC, and other government business entities. If you're interested in that story, you can turn to page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Tinubu special investigator faults CBN audited reports. And coming from page 3, accounting colossus Akintola Williams takes graceful exit. Akintola Williams, the trailblazing figure behind Nigerians' accounting profession, breathed his last at the age of 104, leaving a profound mark on the nation's financial landscape. His demise on September 11, 2023 marks the end of an era and a profound loss for the country, with significant achievements in accounting and Nigeria's financial sector as large. His life is celebrated across the country and globally. If you're interested in this story, you can turn to page 3 of the Punch newspaper. Accounting colossus Akintola Williams takes graceful exits. Pray for the repose of the soul of the old man. Now coming from page 4 and 5, I have cultists deceived DPO, promised to surrender guns, Rivers CP. The Rivers State Commissioner of Police, Emeka Nwoye, has said the late divisional police officer of Aoda, Bako and Gbagshemi, played into the hands of his killers. Nwoye revealed that the cultists had sold a dummy to the late superintendent of police, and they were ready to turn in their arms if they would be granted amnesty in return. He disclosed this during a solidarity protest by human rights advocate Charles Jaja at the headquarters of the State Police Command in Port Harcourt on Monday. Nwoye expressed regret that late Gbagshemi trusted the miscreants only for him to realize their deceit in death. May God grant the repose of the soul of the departed. If you are interested in that story, you can turn to page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. Cultists deceived DPO, promised to surrender guns, Rivers CP. Also on police, I have police arrest fake CP in Lagos. The Lagos State Police Command said it had arrested one Nwangu Emmanuel for allegedly impersonating a commissioner of police to facilitate the release of a suspect from the force headquarters in the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Idowu Owuhunwa, through the command's public relations officer, Benjamin Hundeyin, made this disclosure during the parade of Emmanuel along with other suspects at the police headquarters, Ikeja, Lagos, on Monday. Onhuwa said the suspect was arrested when he approached the police headquarters in the state with a fake identification card to facilitate the release of another suspect who had earlier been nabbed for his involvement in different crimes. If you are interested in that story, of course, you can turn to page 5 of the Punch newspaper. Police arrest fake CP in Lagos. And I'll go to page 6. I have Sanwo-Olu reiterates commitment to sports development. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has reiterated his administration will continue to encourage youth participation and sports development to build a sane society. Sanwo-Olu, represented by the chairman, Lagos State Sports Commission, Shola Ayepeko, disclosed this in his address at the final match closing ceremony of the 15th U-16 Interstate Emeka Anyaku Cup 2023, held at the Abalti Barracks, Gbajabiamila Mini Stadium, Yaba. A statement on Monday said. If you're interested in that story, of course, you can turn to page 6 of the Punch newspaper. Sanwo-Olu reiterates commitment to sports development. And coming from Oyo State, on page 7, I have Oyo government vows to rid Okeogun of insecurity. The Oyo State government has said it remained committed to winning the war against insecurity in the Okeogun area of the state. The Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Bayo Lawal, said this on Thursday during a stakeholders meeting held of the 2024 fiscal year, held at Kishi for all the local governments in Okeogun Zone 2. A statement signed by the Commissioner for Information, Prince Dotun Oyelade, said on Monday. The Deputy Governor added that the President's administration will stop at nothing to ensure citizens are safe in all zones in the state. He commended the efforts of security outfits in ensuring peace and stability in the state, expressing the government's readiness to partner with all security agencies towards safeguarding the state. You can check for more details on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Oyo government vows to rid Okeogun of insecurity. And still coming from page 7, I have Abiodun defense demolition. Daniel's wife gets court's order. An Ogun State High Court sitting in Ijebu-Ode on Monday granted an order asking the Ogun State government to maintain the status quo and stay off the property belonging to the wife of the senator representing Ogun East, Yeye Olufunke Daniel. Agents of the state government had, in the early hours of Sunday, destroyed some of the 5-story building located along Folagbade Road in Ijebu-Ode. Defending its action, the state government on Sunday, in a statement signed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Fiscal Planning and Urban Development, Olaiwola Abiodun, said the structure violated the building codes of the state with numerous defects. I beg your pardon. Meanwhile, Abiodun on Monday again warned that the state government will not tolerate lawlessness and the violation of the state's building code. If you are interested in that story, you can turn to page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Abiodun defends demolition. Daniel's wife gets court order. And I have this one coming from page 7. Morocco earthquake death tolls rises to 2,700. Villagers wept for lost relatives in the rubbles of their homes on Monday as the death toll from Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades rose to almost 2,700, and rescuers raced against time to find survivors. Search teams from Spain, Britain, and Qatar were joining Moroccans' rescue efforts after a 6.8 magnitude quake struck late on Friday in the High Atlas Mountains, with the epicenter 72 kilometers, that is 45 miles southwest of Marrakech. For more of the story, you can turn to page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Morocco earthquake death tolls rises to 2,700. And coming from page 8, I have Lalong warns as tribal sacks Delta PDP APC rep. The National Assembly elections petitions judgment sitting in Jos on Monday declared former governor of Plateau State, Simeon Lalong, winner of the Plateau South senatorial election. Lalong, who is the current Minister of Labour and Employment, contested the senatorial election held on February 25 on the platform of the All Progressive Congress. The tribunal upheld the petition filed by Lalong and his party while invalidating the declaration of Napoleon Bali of the People's Democratic Party by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In declaring Lalong the winner of the senatorial election, the tribunal ruled that the votes scored by Napoleon Bali in the February 25, 2023 general elections were wasted votes, as he was not validly nominated by his party, the PDP. The tribunal equally noted that at the time of Napoleon's nomination, the PDP had no valid structure in Plateau State. For the rest of that story, of course, you can turn to page 8 of the Punch newspaper. Lalong wins as tribunal sack Delta PDP APC rep. And I will go to the Nation newspaper. I have this coming from the front page. It says, UAE lifts visa restrictions on Nigerian travelers. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday secured the immediate lifting of the ban placed on Nigeria travelers by the United Arab Emirates, UAE. Presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngelale, who made this known, added that Emirates and Etihad Airlines would resume inbound and outbound flights in Nigeria without any further delay. Ngelale said in a statement that these were agreed during discussions between Tinubu and his UAE counterpart Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan in Abu Dhabi. He added that the UAE government also agreed to bring investments worth billions of dollars into the Nigerian economy. If you are interested in that story, you can turn to the front page and page 4 of the Nation newspaper. UAE lifts visa restrictions on Nigerian travelers. And I have This one saying accounting icon Akintola Williams dies at 104. Leaders, governors, others pay tributes. A chapter closed in Nigerians' accounting history yesterday with the demise of pioneer accountant Mr. Akintola Williams. Before his death at 104 years, he was the oldest known public figure in the country. Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun, on behalf of the state and the Williams family, announced his death in a statement. It reads, and I quote, "On behalf of the government and the good people of Ogun State, I want to express my heartfelt condolences to the family of the doyen of accounting, late Chief Akintola Williams, who passed on to glory today," that is yesterday. You can turn to the front page of The Nation and page 5 for more details of that story if you are interested. Accounting icon Akintola Williams dies at 104. And of course, coming from page 3 of the Punch newspaper, I have this one that says, why health workers must be protected by Health Minister Pate. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, has praised health workers for remaining undaunted in the face of industry challenges, kidnapping and other forms of insecurity across the country. The minister gave the commendation yesterday while explaining the essence of his 4-point agenda for the ministry in a live program on TV, Breaking Fast program. If you're interested in that story, you can turn to page 3 of The Nation newspaper. And still on page 3, I have Tinubu has confidence in me to manage FCT well, says Wike. Federal Capital Territory FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has told staff members of the FCT administration that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has confidence in him to manage the affairs of the nation's capital well. He warned contractors handling the rehabilitation of 135 roads and civil engineering services against contract variations. The minister, who spoke while inaugurating a road project yesterday in Abuja, promised that the project will be completed in 6 months. According to him, the FCT will pay all the contractors their money to enable them complete the project within the agreed timeline. For more of that story, you can turn to page 3 of The Nation newspaper. Tinubu has confidence in me to manage FCT well, says Wike. And of course, coming from page 6 of coming from page 22, I beg your pardon. How can we prevent suicide by minister? Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Pate, yesterday said economic support, access to mental health, and an environment devoid of leather materials can prevent suicide. He stressed creating the right environment for peer and society engagement, as well as teaching people coping and problem-solving skills will reduce suicide. Pate, represented by Director of Neglected Tropical Diseases at Federal Ministry of Health, Adebayo Peters, said at a briefing to mark World Suicide Prevention Day. He said risk factors for suicide includes mental disorders, undiagnosed mental health problem, alcohol and substance abuse, isolation, significant events such as loss of loved ones, unemployment, and access to means of suicide, and so on. If you are interested in that story, you can turn to page 22 of the Nation newspaper. How we can prevent suicide by minister. And on page 27, I have gunmen killed 11 in Plateau. Gunmen yesterday killed 11 persons in an attack in Kuben community in Mangul local government area of Plateau State. A community leader said armed men attacked Kolben in Kolombom in district. He added that the incident, which occurred at about 10 p.m. on Sunday, left 10 killed and others injured. Reports said arrangement is on for burial of the victims. For more of that story, you can turn to page 27 of the Nation newspaper. Gunmen kill 11 in Plateau. God grants the repose of their souls. And still on the Crown page, I have fake police commissioner, 12 others paraded in Lagos. Lagos State Police Command yesterday paraded 13 suspects for alleged impersonation, robbery, unlawful possession of substances, ammunition, stealing, cultism, rape, and other crimes. The command recovered firearms, live cartridges, expended cartridge, 11 live ammunition, vehicles, wristwatches, phones, hard drugs, police warrant card, walkie-talkie, police camouflage cap and singlet from the suspects. If you're interested in that crime story, you can turn to page 27 of the Nation newspaper. Fake police commissioner, 12 others paraded in Lagos. And with that, we've come to the end of today's newspaper review on Alore Radio. But you can like and share on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Alore Radio. On YouTube, it is at Alore Radio. Our website remains www.aloreradio.com. Of course, you can call in on 09039 853731, 09039853731. I am Olukemi Omotosho. Do have a wonderful day.